Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 7303 Southeast 103rd Avenue here in Portland. We are located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're in the street facing the front of the home. So we are at the front of the house here, but right up against the front left corner. Just about 2 feet in from that. The 4-inch cast iron clean out. We're going to check the overall condition, serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. Off we go. And I zeroed out there at the base of the clean out. And my camera's probably going to be upside down here and there. Fun auto leveling cameras are getting fixed right now. This fancy new system that's used to auto leveling cameras does not let me manually flip the image over. So anyway, it doesn't bug my eyeballs at all. I've been doing this a long time. Sorry if that's kind of funny looking. This is one of those parts of town where sometimes you get a line. The fact that we're still cast iron at this point tells me we're probably going to remain cast iron at least to the, oh, there we go. There's the transition. Up to the street edge of the main. In this case, looks like the street edge. Just swapped over there to 6-inch concrete. It's a rare thing to have that. Most homes of this era, the line would have swapped over to concrete pipe almost immediately upon access, and it's just not an ideal scenario. Concrete does not hold up as well as cast iron does. If you're gonna have old pipe products, cast iron's the stuff to have, in general anyway. Anyway, that's the main right there. The line ties right into the manhole out in the street. We're gonna go locate really quick here just to verify that, then we'll pull back in once the line's drained out. In fact, what we're gonna do here, just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I'm curious, most if not all this concrete pipe will fall into city responsibility. That big thing right there across the pipe, that's just a cobweb. That's not a root. And the concrete pipe drains off nicely. The reason I'm doing this is to see if any concrete is on property or not. And these days, it's obviously an older sewer line. Thus far, the thing looks like it functions beautifully. We'll get a nicer view on the way out. It behooves you nowadays to rescope these every so often to keep an eye on them. Like anything, everything wears out at some point. But because of trenchless repair systems now, if you keep an eye on your lines, you can catch them at the right point in time and be able to take advantage of a trenchless repair system. And again, that's not today, not tomorrow. That's looking into the future. But I want to be able to at least give you something in that regard, so you know what you're facing if you're in this house a long time. Alright, it's located at the camera head. The line terminates out on Southeast 103rd Avenue. So as the line makes its way out of the street, this is as you're facing the house from the road. The line crosses from left to right. Right about where the little walkway is, it leads off the road into the front yard and up to the house. Right just to the left of that is where the line ends up crossing the curb. And where I picked that locate up there is at the curb. So it looks like basically 100% of your sewer line that you're responsible for here is cast iron, which is a great thing. This line has held up very, very nicely. Again, upside down right now. That's why the water's at the top of the screen. All the stringy stuff there right now that's on the bottom of the screen, which is in reality the top of the pipe, all cobwebs. No, that's roots. One of the reasons I love cast iron so much is it is very strong, especially the pipe joints. In fact, cast iron is probably even stronger than modern day plastic pipe joints are. They resist root intrusions quite effectively. But anyway, like anything, you know, this is an older line. This is a very nice example of one that's held up well. But it's a good idea to rescope maybe every 2 years, just to keep an eye on stuff. Usually the first thing that does wear out in most sewer lines, especially older pipe materials, are the joints often enough. So at the point in time where you start to notice the joints opening to the ground, and hopefully the line wears out in a different fashion, but if we start seeing joints open up in the future to where they start letting moisture seep through them or dirt come through them, at that point you want to look into that prospect of updating if you want to take advantage of a trenchless repair system. This is one of those lines, if you do it at the right time, you can do the entire sewer line without digging a single hole. So anyway, that is not today, tomorrow, that's down the road. I just kind of want to give you an idea what that might look like into the future if you're here long enough to see that. We have good flow all the way out to the main lateral. Most importantly, good flow to the street, up to the curb where you're responsible for the line. Not a drop of standing water in the entire sewer line there. Any water you saw there as we were coming back was all still water just trickling off. Beautifully, this line has held up amazingly over time. And it is functioning properly at this time. There's no buildup in it or anything. If you are newer to home ownership, especially newer to an older type home like this with older materials, cast iron is a great pipe product, but it has a fairly rough texture to the inside of it relative to like modern day plastic piping. The reason I say that is you want to make sure, if you have been using things like flushable wipes and you're living in a newer place right now with plastic pipe, you want to stop using stuff like that. Cast iron functions just fine with proper items, toilet paper, but as it relates to wipes, flushable wipes, those are terrible. Do not use the things. If you're going to, you want to use only about one of them at a time, but you want to try and keep that stuff out of the line. Those things tend to snag up in cast iron because of the rougher texture. And the worst scenario is when you get little kids using them. They're wadding up flushable wipes like a softball. You might as well be flushing paper towels down the toilet at that point. They clog up really nicely. So just keep it to the proper stuff. Anyway, line is functioning properly at this time. That is a fantastic looking old sewer line right there.